What is up, everybody? Marissa B here. Hey guys, we are back for a live stream. It's very late. It's not. Technically, it's not very late. If it was late, it would have been like 12 midnight. But I want to make this very short so that I can make this live stream done. Because honestly, I don't want to keep editing, bro. I don't want to edit. It's making me tired. Anyways, let me grab my stuff so I can get ready for everything. Well, I'm using my laptop first before we get to do anything. Oh, I forgot my mouse. Womp womp. Anyways, despite my health is not really doing good, by the way. So, that's why I'm making this live stream again. Now, I actually wanted to make a video, but I noticed that when I started making the video, which was recently, I was actually about to upload it, but then my motivation was like at least 100%, and it went down to like 49. I don't know why. I am pretty sure it's the veidreki event. I don't know. I do overthink a lot, so I think I was thinking about getting a veidreki, and then all of a sudden my friends got a veidreki and I didn't. So that probably must have been killing my motivation. Hold on, let me go to Discord for my laptop. I'm gonna go to Discord for my phone now. Play now. I wish I can, but I can't because this is a MacBook, not a gaming PC. Anyways, now we get to the funsies. Let me scroll all the way back real quickly. There you go. Yeah, it feels like everyone got the veidreki except yourself. Yeah. I am generally upset. I kid you not. Like, I had one of my people from my Discord server telling me that they got a veidreki, but one of my bots deleted it on accident, which I was about to fix them, but I didn't get to. And then I had another friend, which is on Roblox. I don't have them on my server or friend requests from Discord, but basically, they also hatched the veidreki. But they're twice as worse than the ones that I have in my Discord server because this friend loves flexing. Now, they don't know the dragons that I want. Currently, they are age restricted, meaning that they're like 18 plus, and I'm still like 13 through 15, can't really talk to them. But they kept flexing their veidreki. And I was already in a bad mood today. This was actually today, too. It wasn't yesterday, it wasn't the following day. It was literally today. I am so upset about that I just left and unfriended them. Honestly. Anyways. We are gonna go to Discord. Right now, I'm double checking on my laptop to see if I'm not really missing anything, but luckily I am not. So that's why I was on my laptop, because I wanted to check out everything, make sure. Where's Discord? There it is. I would too. I hatched 100 eggs and didn't get the veidreki. I kid you not, I have been grinding so much that I literally got the Storm Tyrant. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, the Storm Tyrant is a title in, like, go to achievements, go to events, scroll all the way down, you see the veidreki event. Storm Tyrant, in order for you to get that, you need to hatch 200 eggs. I hatched past that. So, I'm like, I did count. I think I counted to like 300, but I stopped there because my mind was going nuts. But basically, I've hatched like 300 plus eggs and still nothing. I'm very exhausted from this event. I just need a private server, dude. Literally. Anyways, back to the updates. I want to get this done and over with before I talk about my opinions. But yeah, St. Patrick's Shop coming this Friday, and a new dragon luck lift, which I have also mentioned with the previous update video, live stream, not video, live stream. Anyways, also, ow, just hit my finger on my laptop. I've been very clumsy today, so yeah. Meet Dragon Adventures Lucky Clover Luck Lift, designed by barbed wire bats and fur coat bun. It's said that finding packs of luck lift called cloves means that good luck will follow. You see other dragons with cloves of luck lift since they know about their luck as well. These speedy critters are skittish, but super friendly once they get to know adventurers. Hatch this dragon from luck lift eggs that you can find in pot of golds around the map. More info coming soon in our weekly update plans, which they just posted today. And you guys can look at the little luck lift right here. Anyways, I'm just gonna aim to get the veidreki token at that point. I'm already at have 21 progress. That's nice. I'm probably do this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm probably gonna do the same thing. But despite, I've actually read the weekly plans that they have posted, and we might actually have a chance. Now we're gonna have to hold off because I want to see this. I want to see this one. It's super cute. Just by looking at the character for your Roblox character, it looks very small. So we're gonna expect that. Clover paw pads, owl feet. We got 4-leaf clover. Honestly, I do want this dragon, but I only want this because I actually want to test it out and see if it's actually lucky or not. I'll actually test it out in Friday's live stream. I might even do it on Saturday or Sunday because I don't know how long it's going to take me to get this dragon, but yeah. Here's the default colors, here's the mutations, and yeah. Oops. The dragon is so cute. I think I'll be skipping to aim for gemstone mats. Oh, okay. Developer credits. Catch some sneak peeks. We already know that. Model by Thunderbreeze666 and animation by Cries. Oh my god. My favorite animator. Cries. Alright, here's the animations for this luck lift right here. And I'm not playing music, by the way. Just give you guys a heads up. Here's the dragon right there. Here we go. Weekly update plans. Now, I'm going to just speed run this because there's not much going on, but there is one big update. So yeah. Weekly update plans. St. Patrick's Shop opens and the veidreki event week 2 continues this Friday. Now, if you guys don't know, the previous live stream I've talked about the veidreki event about week 1, 2, and 3. Week 2, we're gonna get a relic element potion in the shop. Alongside with that, I'm pretty sure it's Primordial Storm trait potion is gonna be in the shop too. I don't know. They could bring up both Primordial and Storm Surge, to be honest, but I don't know. We'll have to find out later on. This Friday, the repeatable missions will change, and week 2's daily login, remember that one, rewards will become available, including a legacy token on day 11. Repeatable missions will change. These changes are based on some community feedback. This is from everyone from the community. We've seen repeatable missions in week 2 will not focus on mob grinding like cave bats, scorpions, and hatching specific dragons like Tarikas, Gilliklins, Ferrexes, Bizzledots. Daily missions will earn you 2 times Stormbound eggs instead of just 1. These can only be done once per day. We already know that's a freaking daily mission. What do we expect it? Anyways, the relic element potions will be available in the event shop starting week 2. A reminder, this is for people in the leaderboard. Players who achieved top 100 in the leaderboard for week 1 cannot reach top 100 in weeks 2 or 3, giving more players the chance to earn a veidreki. I'll give my opinions on this right after I get done with this. Anyways, new special attack, Lightning Storm. Summons a cloud that summons lightning around your dragon, targets mobs, and has a 20-second cooldown. Using lightning stones on your dragons to give them this permanent special attack. During the lightning storm weather event, there goes the dog by the way, 2 lightning stones will drop on the map. Is someone really playing loud music at night? Do you guys see my time? It is 8. It is 8. And people will be playing. Whoever lives here, I feel sorry for everyone else who literally is sleeping right about now. Anyways, back to what I was trying to say, because both the dog and someone interrupted me. During the lightning storm weather event, which is again similar to Valentine's event apparently, 2 lightning stones will drop on the map, client-sided. Okay, St. Patrick's shop opens. This is the link of going to Roblox and this and that. Anyways, back to this. The St. Patrick's shop and mini event begins. Here's some details about the mini event. Harvest clover piles and hatch eggs to get clover coins. You can also pick them up like with coins and XP stars, which is normally, that's how you do that. Fill up the bar with clover coins to earn a lucky key. Use lucky keys to open pot of golds around the map, and speaking of that, by opening pot of golds, you can unlock more options in the St. Patrick's event shop. And last but not least, well, it's not last, but at least for now, new St. Patrick's Dragon Lucklif. Lucklif joins Dragon Adventures as the game's first St. Patrick's event dragon. Hatch this dragon from Lucklif eggs, which you can get from opening pot of golds. Lucklif eggs have a 100% chance to hatch this new dragon. Well, duh, because it's a new dragon. There's no other dragon that's been in the game before. This is the first time they've actually released a dragon for St. Patrick's. I'm curious, since they're doing this for St. Patrick's, are they gonna do this for April Fools? Because April Fools theoretically doesn't have a dragon. I mean, it would be more complicated if it did, but yeah. Last but not least, finally, is the QL updates. Here's some coming QL changes coming with Friday's update. Alongside that, fixing Storm Surge cosmetic trait disrupting dragon movement, especially on larger dragons, which, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know this. I've been deleting Storm Surge traits and Primordial Storm from the Stormbound eggs, so I didn't really know that this was a bug. So very sorry for the ones who had Storm Surge. Anyways, fixing Shinry World boss not counting towards boss kills and boss kills daily missions, which again I did not know this one. Same thing with the last one, which is fixing accessories boost for veidreki UGC stacking, which they said that it was not intentionally supposed to be stacked, so they're fixing it. Here is the bar for the keys, and here's the clovers. This is Discord related, so if you guys want to read this, you guys can. I want to show you guys the animations first for this Lucklif. There we go. I've been looking at its animations for far too long, and it's like, it's adorable. It's like, I'm sorry, but let me just put that back on my body. Anyways, you guys can read this right here, because I'm not reading it. But, yeah. Anyways, with my opinions for this, I would say the veidreki event, mostly about the veidreki event. I have been excessively exhausted this whole entire week, almost this whole entire week. It's not really almost there, but yeah. I kid you not, when I made a post about me staying up all day for like one day, it's true. I have stayed up one whole day of trying to get a veidreki, or either a veidreki or an air cosmetic, or at least some type of trait from a Volborith. I didn't care. I just wanted something good that I actually would feel proud of. But I've actually gotten absolutely nothing, and I've started to learn that even though luck is theoretically giving like time and patience, I don't have any of that. I did beforehand, but I didn't. So the fact that they are changing the missions to where it's probably going to be more easier, I think. Something new? Question mark. I don't know how to say this. To be honest, when they are changing the missions, it's either going to be easy or hard, and they need to be communicative about it. Why can't they do what they did with Centalis and Glaclacos, where they changed the missions and they've been more vocal about it? They've showed us about the missions that have been changing. Why are they not going to do that in the veidreki event? Make that make sense. If they did that for Centalis and Glaclacos, wouldn't that be the same for veidreki? People want to get more information instead of just getting one or twice information and then you're just going to keep everything a secret. I don't know. I am happy about the St. Patrick's event, but the fact that there's 2 events happening all at once is probably going to overwhelm a lot of people, because like some people would either want the veidreki or the new dragon, either one. So the fact that they're going to change repeatable missions and yet not tell us what it is going to be something new. I don't have high hopes for this. I'd say that when they're going to change something, don't always have high hopes for something. Because one thing's for sure is that, yes, they're changing the missions. They're not going to make it to where you're going to have to grind mobs and hatch specific dragons, no. But there's going to be a chance where they are going to make the missions more harder than it is to the ones that we have. Like, let's just say, instead of grinding for the mobs and hatching specific dragons, let's just say you have to get, what's a good example? If they're not gonna include mobs and hatching specific dragons, they're gonna have to include something else, like resources, foods, fishing could be one. Collecting eggs, that could be one too. You can't steal eggs. Well, if you guys remember, back then, you did, which is funny. I always talk about that. That's the best moment. But anyways, collecting eggs, choosing like how much eggs you gotta collect or this or that. Like, let's just say, like, the eggs. You have to get 20 prehistoric eggs for the repeatable missions. Let's just say that as a completely different example. If they're not going to include mobs or hatching specific dragons, they're going to make other things more hard, like collecting 20 prehistoric eggs. Even though if you're maxed for eggs, it will probably count if you're maxed of them. If not, you're going to have to hatch them and empty out your storage. Same thing with resources. You have to collect, let's just say, another example. We gotta collect 100 fairy jars from fantasy. If you're gonna have to collect 100 fairy jars, you're gonna have to keep grinding, which is gonna take time. Right now, as we have right now, the repeatable missions have not changed. They will be changing until Friday. But if the repeatable missions as of right now is already hard enough, they're going to make it the same thing for the ones that we're going to have right now. So yeah. As someone who's been grinding the leaderboard, currently around top 50 but may have dropped a bit, this event has been a real test of patience and tolerance for the repetition. True. I'm gonna be heading out. Alright. Yeah, having 2 events at once wasn't very wise, to be honest. It makes people decide what is important. An event that has come back or an event that will never come back. That is true. Yeah, I'm not harvesting 20 prehistoric eggs. It's gonna take me 15 minutes. True. Now, if it does get to a point where you're gonna have to collect eggs, either they're gonna do 2 options, which I hope. The thing I'm about to say is what they're probably gonna do. I don't know. They're not really speaking up about the missions that It's going to be required. Like Centaurus and Glaucocos, they did this before, but they're not doing it for the veidreki event. So that's one thing that kind of triggers me, is just not saying it out loud about what the missions are. But anyways, either, for the example with the prehistoric eggs, either one, you can collect 20 prehistoric eggs, but if you're maxed out for the storage of your prehistoric eggs and you still collect another prehistoric egg, it counts as a point for your repeatable mission. Or if you collect another prehistoric egg even though you're full, it doesn't count, and you're gonna have to hatch the prehistoric eggs and empty it out and get more prehistoric eggs. That would be very annoying. Going back to Origins, hatching dragons that you don't even need to begin with, go back to prehistoric, and just that'd be annoying as flip. I would be probably calm about this because I am the type of person who goes back and forth all the time. So for me, that's normal. But for others, that would be annoying. But yeah, the one thing that I will say is that even if they're not gonna add the mob grinding and hatching specific dragons, they will still make the missions hard regardless. And they're only doing this because of the players. If they make fishing the requirement for one of these repeatable missions, should I mention that most of the worlds now have a limit cap for how many times you can fish in said world? Oh, I forgot about that. I noticed that when I keep grinding for the volcano eggs, and yes, I still do it. I'm lucky with Bizzledothy, so I'm fine. But every time when I'm going to an egg, which is actually close to a fishing area, I notice that there's like 40. And I'm very confused. I'm like, what does 40 mean? Until I actually realized that someone told me that in order for you to catch fish, you have to catch like 40 fish. And then once you're done with 40 fish, you're done. That's kind of annoying. So I don't know why they added that. Fishing's supposed to be fun instead of just having a cooldown of something or whatever. Let me put my laptop down. There we go. But yeah, if they are gonna require fishing, they're gonna have to be very specific about it. If they're gonna make fishing hard, they're probably gonna do 40 fishes, like catch 40 fishes. If not, they could probably decrease it, because the thing is that they want the missions hard, but they don't want backlash from their community. And that's one thing that the developers need to be very aware of, is that yes, the veidreki came out and it's one of the most expensive dragons. Of course they're gonna make the missions hard. But if it's to the point where the missions are really, really hard, to the point that even I'm complaining, I never complain about the missions. But when it comes to something this serious, if I start complaining, others are going to start complaining, and this is where developers are going to start getting a lot of hatred, because their missions are going to be excessively hard for people who have busy days. So if they're going to make it hard, make it hard. But at the same time, make it to a point where at least a couple people have time to get these missions done before zipping out. I would try to get you the veidreki. I thought I was gonna get you one today because I have 5 to. It was 23 days, but the game decided not today. But I would try to get you one. All right. I hate the dumb fishing limit. What was even the point of that? I was gonna say the same thing. What is the point of adding a limit of literally catching fish? Like, I'm gonna be honest, not a lot of people even fish to begin with. I know some people will probably fish for the monies because of the fishing merchandise. Fishing merchant, there we go. That one makes sense. But a limit to fishing? Nah. I'm kind of scratching my head for this one because it's kind of confusing. Why would you want to make a limit to that if most of the people don't even want to fish to begin with? And the only time people will fish is for the season pass and this and that. Duh. Probably to nerf fishing frenzy events. Oh, man, that is stupid. I'm sorry, I don't want to say this bluntly or aggressively, but that's stupid. obviously stupid. They do realize we can just re-roll what's on the rod on case the fishing line till we get what we want, making it kind of pointless. I've hatched you. Yep. Yeah, I'm one of the people who don't fish. Kind of a waste of time for me unless it's fishing frenzy. I was gonna say, if it's fishing frenzy related, and also my Bluetooth. If it's fishing frenzy related, I will probably participate. Last year I didn't because my mentality was not going well because of the Easter event. The Easter event back then literally killed me. So that was fun. And I was still not in a good mood when Solstice came out. I was in a good mood for Galaxy event, but then that also ruined the fun. So I kind of just, stepped back for a moment. But yeah, you guys can read this. If you guys are new to the live stream, you guys can read this because I'm pretty sure this is one of the most important things because a lot of people in the Discord community server has been complaining about the repeatable missions. And yeah. So I'm kind of curious how the developer is gonna do this without getting hatred from their own community. I know they're supposed to make these missions hard, and I actually understand this entirely. The veidreki came out, and the veidreki back then was worth billions of coins. Of course, when it returns, it's literally gonna start being impossible for the veidreki because it came out. It never came out in 5 years. So bringing up a dragon that hasn't returned in such a long time is something very new. So of course they're gonna make the missions hard. But I don't know. They could be in a win-loss situation. They could either make the missions hard and the community doesn't actually complain for once, or they make the missions hard either way and they're just gonna become radio silent about the missions, and people are just gonna keep throwing fire in the general and Discord. Either way. Fishing frenzy will either bless you or end your existence. Speaking of Easter, you have seen the new Dragon League Shadow Queen V type dragon. Yeah, my plan for Galaxy is just farming for super. I am gonna do that, bro. Supercharged potions. I never knew that supercharged would look really good on a lot of dragons, and I can't blame others. Even though supercharged trade potion is really expensive and currently is, I actually want to get supercharged trade potions for mainly myself because, yeah, I would want to sell them, but goodness gracious, they look beautiful on almost every single dragon. Bat Swarm, though, I will say Bat Swarm is my top favorite, but supercharged is going to be my second because it's kind of similar to Bat Swarm, but it's not because it's not, anyways. Solar Studios. Isn't that the third time you said Solar Studios? Solar Studios is digging their own grave with each update, to be honest. There is a couple of updates that they've actually done really good, like the Centaurus and Glaquacos, where they changed the missions to where they're actually quite easy. That one's a good one. But it's like a back and forth. It's like tug of war. It's like they make good updates, but then they make one of the most, I'm gonna say a bad word, I'm sorry guys, they make one of the most shittiest updates. It's a 50-50. They make good updates, but when it's at a random time, they make it to a point where it's so bad that people in the Discord would just go crazy. Solar Panel Studios. I can't spell, but it's funny. Solar Studios. They should call each other that. Solar Studios. It's I hate something. I don't spell it correctly. I'm not even tired. That's the saddest part. My insomnia is kicking in, so that's why. But yeah, with everything that has happened with the St. Patrick's event, the veidreki event, part 2, the one thing I am kind of happy about the veidreki event is that I do want to get the relic element. I didn't see what the relic element looks like, so I'm gonna have to look at it myself. I didn't see it because I kept deleting dragons that I really don't need. And you know what's funny? You know what? Speaking of the dragons from the Stormbound egg, since I've hatched like 300 plus eggs, did I actually get anything good is the real question. I did hatch 5 Vulpariths, which is actually pretty good, pretty decent. I actually hatched a Vulparith with Storm Surge and actually kept it. So, it's probably wanting to grow, but yeah. I also hatched a Air Cosmetic Kurukairi, which I have always wanted to hatch my very, very first Air Cosmetic, and my first cosmetic is literally an Air Cosmetic Kurukairi. And I am very proud of it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not upset that it's a common, because it is technically a common for the Kurukairi. But it's literally my first ever Air Cosmetic. And you know what's crazy? How come I can get a 0.1, but I can't get a 0.3? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. I think the RNG just thought, okay, you just hatched way too much eggs. We're just gonna give you the hardest one, and we're not gonna give you the veidreki that you always wanted for 5 years. Basically that. Autocorrect, you're fired. Every game is gonna have their good updates and their bad updates. No game is perfect. I do agree, Dragon Adventures and Creatures of Snare have made some questionable decisions, though they're not as bad as old Dragon Adventures. I will say their decisions with that was yeah, no. I will say I love the stealing eggs, even though I actually hated it, like generally hated it. I loved it because back then I actually had friends. I could just troll them and just steal eggs with like an odd account, which back then I only had 1 odd account. Currently I have 4. Yeah, I'm not gonna count my main because that's 5. But yeah, I'm farming for the veidreki token and the veidreki for you because of how dumb the hatch chance is, to be honest. Exactly! Like, for people, they could either hatch a veidreki super early or super late. I have hatched 300 plus eggs and not once did I get a veidreki, but yet I get an Air Cosmetic that's a 0.1, but not a 0.3. Again, maybe it makes sense. I wasn't even aiming for the Air Cosmetic, but I was like, okay, I'll accept it. I will say my jaw dropped when I had that Air Cosmetic. I did not expect that. I was actually so tired. I was almost about to delete it, but luckily I actually favorited it and I didn't delete it. That would actually be so annoying. I would be so mad if I deleted an Air Cosmetic. That would literally just be rage bait, bro. I'd be rage baiting myself. I can't tell if my internet is having a stroke. My internet loves me, apparently. Oh yeah, if you guys do check the description, there is a little reminder that if my internet, well, for you guys, if it's to the point where my live stream is kind of laggy for you guys, either my internet is off or could be you guys, but it's most common. This octopus, let's give him boots and send him to the north, huh? A paperclip, okay. Came back to Dragon Adventures around 2024, so I missed that. I will say, when I started playing Dragon Adventures at like late 2019 to like early 2020, I have realized that when I was young, my mother was very strict, by the way. So when my mother was very strict, she didn't allow me to play with like a laptop or like a phone. So I couldn't really play Drag Adventures around 2020 to like around 2020. No, not 2023. I think she didn't allow me to play Roblox for like a couple months before returning secretly. And yeah, love old 18th century music because that was a meme. Oh, it's off. And my internet's on again. Bro, Prism Live is going nuts. Anyways, back to what I was trying to say. I am going to make my Valkyro my OC, but I gotta draw it. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have not drawn in the last couple months, so I might actually be very bad. And yeah, man. But I will say this straight, I am probably not gonna play Drag Adventures again because even if I try to, it's not gonna work. Probably gonna get off soon. Haven't been feeling well lately. Oh, alright. But yeah, that is all for the updates. I already know that if you guys have questions about anything, it would be the veidreki event. But yeah. Anyways, what I was trying to say beforehand was where I was gonna change my OC, which is my Ice and Drachi on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna change it to my Valkyro. I have mentioned this in one of my other live streams. I've mentioned before that if I ever get a Valkyro, it would be my official OC for my YouTube channel because I don't have an Ice and Drachi anymore. And it would be quite weird if I have a dragon that doesn't exist in my inventory. So, for now, I will permanently say that my Valkyro is gonna be the OC or mascot of my YouTube channel. It's not gonna happen instantly though. I'm gonna have to sketch my Valkyro, which is not gonna be easy. But hopefully when I draw my Valkyro, it would be slightly easier, maybe. I don't know, but yeah. Ice and Drachi, penis, my Valk in 2026. I actually had this Ice and Drachi OC or mascot, whatever you guys call it, for around one. But then I realized that I don't have it anymore, so it's something I actually adore, which is Valkyro. I've always wanted to sketch a Valkyro, but one thing I couldn't do is that I didn't have a Valkyro during that point. So I couldn't really, sketch one. So yeah, I need to finish my YouTube profile picture, to be honest. I haven't even begun sketching it. I haven't even done anything, to be honest, Valkyro. One does see me online, which I do have my online status off. I've actually had it off because of the friend that I've talked about in the beginning of the video. I said, yeah. So if you don't hatch a veidreki by the end of the event, want my spare baby veidreki? I honestly have no use for it. Especially since I'll be getting 2 more veidrekis via veidreki eggs and a token on and board. I would definitely take a veidreki. I've been waiting 5 years for a veidreki. And you know what's crazy? Speaking of that, before I end the video, I will say this last part. When it was around 2024 to like early 2025, I will say this straight, it was around those years, I started to notice that my coins was actually like 20 million, and I thought maybe I can get a veidreki with 100 million, which, to be fair, I didn't know veidreki's price was 1 billion during that point. So, yeah. I started selling a lot of my dragons, and I got so much coins. But then, my favorite YouTuber, who actually quit playing Dragon Adventures, has released a YouTube short, which is Fluffy TSG. I absolutely love his content. Shout out to him. He made a YouTube short talking about the veidreki, and he said that it was worth billions of coins. Now, I'm over here like, so I just sold my dragons to get a veidreki that is worth billions of coins. That's back then, by the way. So, I noticed that wax coins is 100 million. So I decided to just quit. I gave up entirely to get the veidreki. I decided to just buy dragons that I actually like. So I did just that. Skeleton, great, but kind of a merge of sands and... Oh, I heard they are going for 10 to 5 million, but who knows. I was gonna say, people have been saying about prices here and there with veidreki, but I will say don't believe a lot of the prices because veidreki's price is literally all over the place. You can hear 10 million. Some people can say 20 million. Others can say 30 million. Some would say 5 million. veidreki's price isn't guaranteed of a price like, let's just say, Diorns, for example. Diorns are like 10 to 15 million. Those are guaranteed because somehow, I don't know what happened, but the Guild Wars dragons have literally decreased in price because of the veidreki's return. And yeah. So, if the Diorn, for example, was 10 to 15 million, and it has been like that for that long, the veidreki is not going to be that for far too long because, you know, people love to inflate dragons that they already own. Voltstorms are going for 43 million. Are they? Because, last I checked, I saw a Fulma double legendary. I don't know what trade it was, I forgot. I'm pretty sure it was supercharged. But that Voltstorm was going around like 8 million to 10 million. It would make sense if it's a Voltstorm from like the first day, like release date. That would make sense. If it's a release date Voltstorm or Tronet, that would make sense because they go for a lot. Also, I don't know why they're going for a lot. I don't know why release dragons go for a lot. I just want the dragon. That's all I'm here for. If I'm here for a dragon, I'm here for the dragon. I'm not here for the release date. I'm just here for it. Voltstorm has a great design, but such, that word, animations. Really hate the floating. The flying and flying idle especially. Yeah. I was gonna say, I love the design for Voltstorm, but the animations, they did it slobby. Like, who in their right mind wanted Voltstorm to float? I can vision Voltstorm stomping instead of just floating. I'm just saying that bluntly. I feel like Voltstorm matches with, like, its big giant appearance. Like, the animation should be like where Voltstorm could be stomping or something like that. Flying animation should probably be fixed too because it just looks blocky, in my opinion. Saw people selling them for that price, some selling for 20 million. Yeah, it had a lot of potential for animations, yeah. But yeah, depending on prices, since inflation still exists, because veidreki, well, mainly the veidreki. I don't know why people overprice for Voltstorms, because in my opinion, there is twice as much Voltstorms than it is to Tronets. So I'm like, why are Voltstorms rising if there are more Voltstorms out there than it is to Tronets? Make that make sense. I am so confused. People want to overprice a dragon that is overly common, but not overprice a dragon that isn't even found anywhere, like tronids or trisolums. Great example too. You don't see those around. Philanathus, three-headed ground dragon. Great example. You barely see a lot of dragons that aren't shown, like Gordigords. I barely see those, and they're worth cheaper. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me being me, to be honest. I never heard an answer for my offer up above, by the way. Stream is having a crisis. Didn't know if you're interested. The what now? Oh. It should actually walk, like stop walking for running. Maybe the floating, I don't know. I was gonna say, if it's the walking, it should at least walk. Running animations, it should be where it can float, which it does make sense. If it wants to float, it can. The flight animations could make some little bit of tweaks here and there. But the walking, for sure, it should have been where Voltstorm could just at least walk. Because if Voltstorm... Because it's like Amoris, for example. Compare it to Amoris. Amoris can't walk because it's been floating. So, Amoris has been floating. So it's expected for Amoris to float. But the fact that Voltstorm can stand on its feet, but when it's walking, it just floats, makes kind of zero sense. I'm just saying. If it had a walking animation, it would actually be walking. Running makes sense because floating. Also, hello. Make the Voltstorm shack then. It's walking, that would be cool. Yeah. Oh boy. I don't know. Dragon Adventures is kind of sloppy. Both the developers and community all together, to be fair. The community is one thing that's kind of worsening it because I would say the veidreki, for example, people have gotten the veidreki a lot, but people mistaken their prices to be like 50 million, but they're actually not. Because 2026 veidrekis are like worth a lot more cheaper the more you see them. And our stream's lagging again. Remember that teaser they showed of reanimations on the Agent Scriffy? Wonder if they'll ever add it. Yeah, I saw that. I saw, well, duh, I added it in my update video. But Scriffy had the reanimations and I actually liked it. When I noticed that Scriffy kept floating, made zero sense to me because the original Scriffy can literally walk and run. So when Scriffy, the agent one, has reanimations, maybe they should do that for Voltstorm? Question mark. I feel like a couple dragons should get reanimations or like redesigns. Like Capera, for example. Capera has not once gotten a redesign or reanimations for the past couple of years. I don't know how long it has been for Capera to come out, but yeah. Anyways, I am gonna end this live stream so it doesn't have to be too long like the previous one. The previous one is like almost 2 hours. This one's almost an hour, so yeah. It kind of makes sense too because it's almost 9 o'clock for me. Not really tired too, so yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna end the live stream here. I will talk in my Discord server if anyone wants to go in there. But yeah, I will see you guys on Friday's live stream. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. See ya and bye!